Yeah, Betty.
Betty, shut up. Hey, welcome to the Aftercast. What a great way to start that.
Wally made me cry.
Literally, we were just talking about things. We talk about stuff right before we go on air or on, the Aftercast. And Gavin was telling us, he was showing Betty Rock a picture of a baby that your friends had, and they named it Margot, which I think is a great name.
Such a good name.
But you were like, I don't understand why they wouldn't tell people the name. Like, so they kept the name a secret?
They did. I mean, they knew everything. Like, they did the 20-week, gender reveal party, all this stuff. So they did all that. And then we're in the separate ballpark. And again, they didn't. This is the first time I've learned of their little girl's name. And we're the opposite, where we have no idea what the gender of our kid is. But Bennett has been the name since day one.
The get-go,
Since we found out we were pregnant, we're like, oh, this is Bennett. Like, that was how we played this game.
But the reason they don't tell people is because they don't want anyone to take that name. But if you don't tell people and someone just accidentally gets it, then you lose it, or you because all you saying, "Oh, I did it first. We wanted that." Well, you didn't tell anybody.
But that's what Gavin was saying off the air, was he doesn't get why they hid it.
Yeah,
and it's because, I mean, if someone took, let's say this couple, and they're like, "We're gonna name it Bennett," and you had told them that you were gonna name your baby Bennett, would that make you angry?
So no, it wouldn't.
Really?
Personally.
And you're in the same circle?
So what I would say, an example of
I
this.
can promise you, Haley would be.
Yes.
And here's a perfect example of that, was that we had the name Lila Rose picked out
for
I
love that.
A girl, and that was something Haley has had and has had it written down since college, and had said that at one point she had broadcasted that, not like
told somebody,
not like via a big business like family text, but had said in the family circle, oh, we want our first girl to be Lila Rose.
Who in your family took Lila?
Her sister?
So her cousin
took
the name Lila Rose.
No.
And so she posts a photo on Facebook
I can't believe.
saying, oh, we have decided, and look, and it's little Lila Rose.
That is
so
not cool. I would abduct that child.
As soon as
if I was your wife, I would.
As soon as I saw that post on Facebook, I was on a walk, or I was like about to go on a walk.
She had to be.
And I went on a walk, and I called Haley right away, and she was in tears when I called.
Yeah.
And so we're going through this whole conversation.
Yeah.
And we're like, man, my end result of this situation is that I said, like, who cares? Like, let's name, this is me. We'll name our kid, like our girl, Lila Rose. Like,
right. To you think it's not a big deal.
Who in the world cares?
Right.
Let's
You
keep
can't
that
have
name.
two Lila Roses
We've
in the
wanted
family.
this. We say that. We do say that. Maybe not Lila Rose, but like, let's keep the first name or the middle name, something like that. Because in my mind, and this is just me, I think that if I was younger, 10 years old, 5, 10, a kid, and I went to, my cousin's house, and I'm like, I'm going to go see my cousin Gavin. We share the same name.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? I think that kids would find that to be unique and cool.
It's
and
disrespect, is what it is.
It
It's
is.
disrespect.
So.
It is.
Oh,
it
for
is.
sure.
Your wife's cousin did this on purpose.
The cousin was disrespectful.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I do agree. I do agree.
It's disrespect for
Did
the
Haley? Did your wife confront her cousin?
No, she never did.
Of course not.
But does
Women
she
won't
still
do that.
linger with
I-
that resentment?
I think
Yes.
No. I
Yes,
think
she does.
Probably.
She does.
I think we believe that this cousin,
and rightfully so.
quote unquote, didn't know.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
come
Lila
on.
Rose?
Liar.
No.
Liar.
I could maybe see
That
Lila.
You sit
That
on
one-
a throne of lies.
That one was a family name.
Yeah.
And I think Haley just
know.
thought that she had mentally claimed it. And so
She did. If she
There's-
put it on a text, come on, you own that.
I don't know if it was a text. I don't know how it was brought. I say, oh, did you tell her? Oh, I've definitely said it. And when you get into that realm, you're like, who knows who heard what?
If anything, her cousin should have texted her or called her and said, hey, I'm going to have this baby. Do you mind if I call her Lila Rose?
No, even that's wrong.
I know.
Come up with your
This
own
kid-
name.
This kid is 3 years ahead of us.
Doesn't matter.
So
Yeah, it doesn't
She
matter.
beat you to it. She beat you to the
Haley
punch.
called dibs.
Yeah, like that's
Yeah.
that is so
That was
wrong
dramatic.
on
It was-
so many levels.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I've never totally loved this cousin.
Yeah.
So it's hard for
See,
me to.
she's already a jerk.
Yeah, I feel bitter. I always felt a little bitter about it.
Yeah.
Now
Classic.
we're-
What Lila Rose's mom would
Because
do.
now every time I see Bennett, I'm just gonna think Lila Rose, and I'm gonna get angry. Like every time.
it's a girl.
It doesn't matter. I'm gonna see red every time. Because now I'm angry for you.
Thank you.
I like to get angry for people.
I hope it's
don't
a
have
girl
enough
now.
drama in my own life.
And that Bennett was a second name.
second choice.
Yeah.
Well, Bennett was
like Bennett.
Bennett was always going to be the first boy's name.
Okay.
And then obviously all of a sudden Lila Rose is off the table, which I will be honest with this, the switch, and maybe this makes it less of a bad situation. We did replace the name Lila Rose.
Right.
We did keep the middle name Rose because
Bennett Rose.
Kids are no.
Oh,
Liza Rose.
Oh, Bennett Liza Rose.
No.
This is for a different
it's a
baby.
whole name.
Oh.
Liza Rose with my last name.
Oh,
so there would be her. So Liza Rose would have a cousin named
Lila
Rose.
Oh, to get even.
Yeah, it's unique still, and it's almost like a little. In my head, it feels like a little
twist.
Jab.
Yeah,
a little jab. I'm like, hey, here's Liza Rose.
Because I know, like when we were having kids. Well, we waited for a while to have kids, but my sisters were having kids. My one sister had 1 million kids, and so like there, and even in our friend group, women would all talk about the names that they wanted to. To name the child because they wanted to claim it in essence. And so if they've been at a brunch and they have spoken the name and you trespass against that, that is not cool.
I don't remember you saying
that. That is not
don't
cool.
Even pull
I've
out
always found this person
Lila
to be
Rose.
like a slightly inconsiderate and non-empathetic person.
Now,
so
what would happen though? So because
they don't listen.
What would? That doesn't matter. Just be honest. That's all we want here. And so, like,
you can't tell them it doesn't matter.
It doesn't. Just be honest. Honesty is better.
I'll craft the drama. It's all on me.
Yeah.
Haley doesn't harbor anything.
Okay,
it's all me.
So the thing about it is, like, if you guys named your child Liza Rose, I would be really, really interested to see if this other person got bent about it, or they're like, okay, yeah, I don't care. I've had my kid for 3 years, doesn't matter. Or would they be upset that you took that name? That would be fascinating.
I think if they saw that, oh, Liza, that's so close, it'd be like, then you'd start the conversation of, oh yeah, we were gonna go with
but
Lila
you stole
Rose.
it. But no, if you actually took Lila Rose, would this other cousin be like, oh, that's what I named my kid, you can't take that? I'd be like, deuces, don't care.
She probably would.
Yeah.
The thing is, and again, no offense, but we are maybe going to see these people once.
Sure.
Maybe once a year.
That's why I think
at 4th of
if
July.
you were
That's
really,
why I don't think it matters.
If you were really passionate about it, I think I like, especially where you claimed it, I would be like, all bets are off, but we're doing it anyway. But then you don't want the look of, oh, you copied them. Yeah. But again, if you don't see them hardly at all, who cares?
But that's how a guy would, and it's not my cousin. This is Haley's family. So I personally, I don't have a huge, no
dog in the fight.
Dog in the fight, because it's not going to really impact me all that much.
Yeah, that is fascinating to me, though. The drama, the family drama, I love it.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of drama, sources are saying that 4 out of the 5 guys in NSYNC would like to do a reunion tour again, but guess who's holding out?
Justin.
Yeah, Justin Bieber.
Because what? No,
Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake.
I said that wrong.
Yeah,
that's on me,
you.
JT.
Because he thinks he's better than them.
He is.
Okay, maybe he is. Yeah. But also there's some guy code there, like he wouldn't be where he is without those guys.
That's right.
So
I don't, I guess he's still touring and selling out shows and stuff like that. If he did an NSYNC tour, it would be huge. It would be like Toby doing a DC Talk reunion. It would be huge. They would all make bank. He doesn't need it as much, but Chris Kirkpatrick, he needs it. He's playing malls right now with the guys from
no,
he is with the guys from O-Town. He is doing NSYNC. So I swear to you, honest, truthful.
Wait,
honest,
do
truthful.
You want to die on this
I
hill
do.
that you know where Chris Kirkpatrick, what he is currently doing with his life?
I have seen videos of him performing.
You have tracked him down.
Yes. Okay, back in the day, I knew the NSYNC guys because I worked at Radio Disney, and we had interacted a few times. We rode like Tower of Terror together, and I had hung out with them a few times socially. Mm-hmm. And I always liked Chris Kirkpatrick. He was the one that never got any of the attention. It was always Justin and JD or JT. What was it? JD. And then JD Chavez.
Oh, okay.
JC. Thank you. I don't know. I didn't hang out with him much.
I just know about Chris.
Yeah. But
I know exactly
Chris
what he's
I like
doing
because
right
Chris
now.
was trying to, start businesses and stuff because he knew he needed it, and so now he's doing the whole like O-Town reunion
and he's what,
thing.
50?
Oh,
51,
he's got to be younger than
52?
me. He can't be 50.
No, what's Timberlake?
He's got to be in his 40s. Like, there's no way. I think he was the oldest member of
Timberlake
NSYNC.
is 43.
Is he really?
Who is
but
it?
Chris Kirkpatrick was the oldest.
He was the oldest. 47?
In the group.
That is crazy to me. How old is he?
52.
No, he is not.
I told
Grandpa.
you.
How?
I
So,
told you.
So wait, he's only 3 years younger than me. So when I interviewed them back when I was in my 30s.
Peers.
He would have been 3 years younger than me. Justin was like 12 at the time. Justin was this little kid.
I think he was the youngest in the group.
And so,
How old did you say
that's
Justin is?
crazy.
43 now.
43.
So
He's
yeah, he was
43
12
now.
years younger than me.
Dang.
Yeah, so I would have been 30 something, like right around. I would have been I would have been 30, I guess.
You could have been in a boy band.
I know, I wish. But so anyway, so they, Chris Kirkpatrick, Joey Fatone, JC, and Lance, they are all down to do this. But it's partly because JT is focused on his world tour, which I'm like, come on, man, throw the guys a bone. Like, watch the video of Chris Kirkpatrick at the mall. And he's doing a good job. He's singing and dancing his little heart out. Like, I feel bad for him.
Pennies at the guy.
Yeah. You know what's really funny is that a DC Talk reunion has been talked about for years. People have wanted this for years. And I'm trying to remember what I can and can't say right now.
Oh my goodness,
Don't
really?
say anything.
Well, no, I can't remember.
I like this.
I mean, Gavin was honest. And then we'll get to Betty's honesty in a minute.
No.
Yeah, Betty's a closed
How many
book.
skeletons in the closet can we get out today?
So many.
Lots.
But no, like they wanted to do, there were talks at different times of a DC Talk reunion, but like when the other guys wanted to do it, Toby was in the height of his career and he wasn't going to do it, and so then like his world kind of changed a little bit, and so he was thinking, okay, this could be a good time, but then Michael was with the Newsboys, and so then they kind of did they did a few shows together where they would cross over and do like some DC Talk stuff. But Kevin Max has always been the wild card, honestly.
He feels like the Kirkpatrick, though, of this group that needs the
Max,
the attention.
Super talented. Like, that guy can sing. But his off like stage antics, opinions, whatever you want to say, like makes him challenging. To kind of manage, I guess. And so I don't know if that's still the case, or not. If they're not doing the reunion because of Kevin or because they're both busy, the other two guys are busy. I don't know. I can't say for sure. But I do know what's that? Oh yeah. But I do know one day when I was at a restaurant, and remember when Kevin went and played with boys become queens. Audio Adrenaline.
Yeah.
And
Great
I was
song.
talking to one of the guys in Audio A, and I made a joke. I'm like, hey, not with Kevin. Whose day is it to watch him? And he just looked at me and goes, you have no idea how true that is. And stuff. But I hope that he's gotten some of his stuff worked out because he's like super talented. He and I had a beef years ago that we squelched.
What?
Who
Do you remember
haven't you
that?
had a beef with?
I guess when I
You
first
might
got
be starting
here.
another one right now.
When I first got here, I ruffled some feathers inadvertently
ruffler.
years ago. But yeah, I had made a joke about a DC Talk reunion and Kevin Max not being able to get off work at Blockbuster to do the show, and he heard it through his fans.
that's mean.
They were rabid, and then it caused this big dust up, and we had this big argument between him and me, and then there had to be a sit down between him and our bosses, and it was just a whole big thing that really shouldn't have gotten to that point. But it was funny because with Kevin, and I didn't know him like I knew Toby. I was just making a joke, but it hit him wrong, and that's fair. So he was bent about that. And okay, that's fine. But what's really funny is the place we squelched it is when I went to the Newsboys Roaring Like a Lion premiere for their album, and they were all celebrating it, and it's this big moment, and Zach and I had this idea to dress me in a lion suit and protest their record deal, and so I'm out there in a lion suit. Lions are people too, and just goofing around, it's a joke. But that was where I ran into Kevin Max at that thing, and he and I took my lion head off,
Kevin,
which would have been great if I had kept the suit on. But like once I changed and went inside and we kind of talked, it was like he and I stepped out of the side of everything and we squelched all of that, which I was kind of bummed because we could have done that months or a year or whatever it was earlier if we had just had a conversation. Because I think sometimes people in music circles and even in Christian music, one of the rules that I was told years ago by a record industry person was like, never underestimate the insecurities of your artists that you manage. And these people are some of the most insecure people on the planet. DJs are some of the most insecure people on the planet. You have those two insecurities run headfirst into each other because they manifest themselves as bravado, you know? And so, like, we could have squelched that way easier than it had to be. But I think some of the stuff that I had done, because when I first came in, I just came in wanting to goof around and saying whatever was on my mind. And I definitely stepped on some insecurities of people that I had no idea were insecurities.
Do you think, though, that if you had come in, because you came from a place that allowed you to
mainstream radio,
say whatever you wanted. So you came into a place where you, like, quote unquote, couldn't do that.
Yeah.
And I believe that you had it cut down to, the bare minimum of, you had it cut down from the days before that, though. If you could go back to those early days in Christian radio, would you do things differently, or do you think that what you did set up your career in Christian radio to be what you wanted it to be and what it is today?
That's a great question, because doing it the way I did it is what reset the bar in this industry. Because I was just trying to be honest with and get people to have honest conversations and stop telling me, your favorite Bible verse. I wanted to know what was going on in your head and why you made this decision, and so I asked people tough questions because I think it made them genuine and it made them real to people. And so the byproduct of some of the difficulties was it opened up the doors for a lot of other Christian radio people to be more honest, because I just cracked my chest open too. I didn't just do it to other people. I did it to me. And I exposed all this stuff, and it let Christian radio be a little more attainable to people. Because that was a big complaint of Christian radio for a lot of times. And not so much Way FM as much as other places, but like they live these perfect lives and the DJs are perfect. The musicians are perfect. Everything's perfect. And I can't relate to that. And so when I got here, I was far from perfect. When you have record people arguing with you on the air and calling you the Howard Stern of Christian radio, and that you need to leave this format because you're not welcome, you've struck a nerve. And to me, I'm like, this is great because I came from that. But what I would do differently now, knowing the landmines that I walked through, because they were a nightmare, and it just made my days worse and angry and stuff like that, I would learn to walk a little more tactfully than I did. I had no tact.
The Kevin Max thing seems like it was a blockbuster joke turned into a big issue. So it's like if you remove one blockbuster joke, like maybe another joke might have come through that could have done the same thing, but like your jokes, which again, like leaning on humor as the who you are part of radio entering into Christian radio, I see that like you wouldn't want that to be gone, the humor part of it.
Right.
But you're right that like with that humor, because what you do nowadays is you don't make Christian artists mad anymore that I know of.
I know. I've settled all that stuff, and I was always really good about wanting to settle. You guys know me. If there's a problem, I want to address it now, today, and let's just get it done. And I always did that with anybody I had a dust up with. I always wanted to settle it and go, okay, well, why did this make you mad? Because to me, it was no big deal. So obviously, it's a big deal to you. Tell me why, so that I can understand it, and then I can navigate around this with you. Like if there are certain artists I know I can do anything with, I can throw anything at, and it's going to be great. No one's going to be upset with each other. But then there are other artists that I know they have different sensitivities, and so now knowing them better, I will craft what I do with them so as to not put them in I never wanted to put an artist in a bad place or make them look bad. I never wanted to do that. My goal was always to make them look human. And this format didn't allow for that early on, and it also did not allow for humor. It struggled in comedic circles in this format because comedy has a victim sometimes, and satire and all of these things or sarcasm are tough for people to grasp a lot of times in a world where it says, well, you need to love everybody and everything that comes out of your mouth has to be wonderful. And so that's hard to balance humor in scripture, and it's difficult. And so that's where I think intent comes in. Because like I can tell you something and I can make a joke at your expense,
I think people,
but you know it is a joke and it's not serious and it's designed to be funny. Yeah. When you make those things and you say those things, I think that's different than saying something to somebody that you know is going to hurt them because you want to hurt them.
Yeah, because like I think when people listen to, let's say like the Wally Show, for example, is that they trust that there's stuff in here that's funny that they can listen to that is just meant to be purely funny.
Absolutely.
And not meant to be this, maligning evil thing.
If I couldn't take it, though, that would also be another thing.
Oh, sure.
Like, for the love. You, to some degree, you've burned me a couple times really funny. Yours is always really subtle. Yours is like a scalpel, and it's like a little quick hit. Betty's is a hammer. She's got like a sword, and Betty Rock is like, whoosh, and cuts my legs out, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, Betty has it so hard. Oh, no, you guys have no idea.
I do have it hard.
No, don't play the victim. Betty Rock gives she gives every bit as good as she takes.
If you could, here's the thing. I think if you could take Wally and I, how we were at the beginning, like
I wish I could
17.
See that.
Yeah, that's a lot under the bridge.
17 years ago. I think to a degree, some of us, I got harder.
Yeah.
And you got softer.
That's very true. That's very true.
Because I was an innocent 21-year-old.
Yeah.
Sure. Still
bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, rose-colored glasses, young adult.
Yeah.
And then something happened.
I killed that.
Yes, you squelched that.
I do think that...
And you've become more relaxed.
Yeah.
Whereas I've had to learn that I can't always be that way, because if I do, I'm just going to get...
walked on or whatever. Yeah. And I do think that that's been a good... that's the secret to a good radio show and a good partnership is you learn from each other, and you still retain your own identities, but you do find that common ground and that middle ground. The important thing, though, like with you and like with Gavin coming into something new, or when Zach was here, was that we all knew what was funny. The hardest thing to do a radio show is when you have someone on the show that they might not always appreciate the humor, but they still, in their soul, they know it's funny, but they're like, oh, that's not my style of humor. But we all were 90% of the time on the same page of this is funny. We like the same thing. Scott Sterling, a great example. We all laugh at Scott Sterling. And so being on the same page comedically for a radio show is vital, and so... I think that was one of the areas where we always were really good aligned, and that's why we've worked so well together all these years. I consider it, and I say this in all seriousness, I consider it a privilege and a joy to have worked with you for this many years.
You better say that.
Thank you. See, and again, Betty never meets a compliment with a compliment. She takes it in, all the time. Never does.
No.
But
she's like, I don't have to.
I know. No. I'm Betty. But, I mean, it's a gift to be able to have had the longevity with somebody in this career and still like them, because that does not happen very often. Most radio shows that have been around, I know, that have been around, I hope to
one day experience
this long,
my goodness.
One of them still likes the other one. What do you got, Lady Rock?
Amazon. If you've got Alexa, you can now ask her, you can say, Alexa, talk Gen Z to me. And what she'll do is she'll spit out slang along with definitions. So we already know what ick means.
Yeah.
Give me the ick.
T means
Spell it.
The drama.
The drama, the gossip. Sus.
Suspect.
Suspicious.
Yeah.
Mid.
What is that?
It's like you're not great, not terrible.
You're just
so
mid. Oh, that's funny.
Just mediocre.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Riz means charisma. Okay. So
that one's funny.
Skibbity Ohio Riz.
She has 20 new terms.
No way.
She will tell you the word and then the definition. So drip.
Oh, that's your clothes, your outfit.
Fashion.
Fashion,
I
yes.
watched this kid on TikTok, which I think he's doing it ironically. He's like, oh, son, it's your boy Jackson here. Look at my drip today. My drip is fire. I could steal your girlfriend. And he's this total nerdy kid. But I watch it, and I just laugh every time.
Another one, the math isn't mathing.
Yeah, I love that saying.
It just means
Doesn't add up.
Things aren't adding up.
Haven't we been saying that for a while?
Yeah.
I feel like we've been saying that one for a while.
I do like that.
Okay.
8, spelled A-T-E.
Oh, I don't know. An 8-year lunch?
Like, it's like if I were to say, like, he's eating today, I've heard it at least used through a sports context where if a running back has scored 2 touchdowns today, they're like, "Oh, Ezekiel Elliott, he's eating today."
Oh, okay.
No, it sounds like it's used to praise someone for doing something well or with style.
Oh, really?
Like,
Interesting.
You ate with that outfit.
Oh.
Or you could go to a step further and say,
Jeez, I feel
you
old
ate
now.
and left no crumbs.
Got it. Okay, I like
My
that.
goodness.
Yeah.
I like these
That's
kids.
cool. I want to start using that.
Say it's giving.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite.
Love
You do
it.
that one a
It's
lot,
a certain
Rock.
vibe.
Yeah.
Like,
Stress.
that outfit, it's giving Beyonce.
Yeah, I actually really like that. I'm working on a parody song right now to Don't Stop Praying that says it's called Don't Stop Slaying. And it has things like that. It's giving and sauce and low key and like all these things. And so it's like a Gen Z song.
Do you know what mother means?
No.
Oh, no.
Mother is iconic. It's a mentor.
Okay.
So you could say Rihanna is mother.
Okay. Is
right.
glowing up on there?
I don't see it on
Okay,
here.
glow up is one I have in there.
This is
too.
one you're using. I'm in my blank
Oh,
era.
I love that. I love it. I love it
Thank you,
ironically. Yeah, I love it ironically.
I'm
but
in my self-care era.
I know.
You know?
Gavin and I were on our estrogen era earlier, and when we were picking songs for Time Capsule Tuesday.
And then one last one, air, spelled A-I-R. Do you know what that's used for? It's used to intentionally ignore someone. So you're saying, like, why is he airing my text messages? Meaning he's ignoring you.
Interesting. Okay, I did not know that.
I appreciate that you've said most of these using the.
Why is he
Yeah.
airing my messages?
It is weird.
Rihanna is mother.
Kind of like in music, how for a long time when Adele was huge, a lot of girls all wanted to sing like Adele. So every girl that came out was doing that affected Adele voice. Hello. And then
Sounds like
Hello,
Clarice.
Clarice. But now the whole style of video for influencers, it's all the same, and it's that voice, and it's the hey fam, today we're gonna. I can't do it as good as you, but it's like it's all the same. It's its own. It's become its own style, and it drives me nuts.
Well, it's kind of like what y'all were talking about earlier. While Gavin was saying it's always sports, but the announcers where you were like back in the day, they all sound
Yeah,
the
we had
same.
this era in time when we used to talk like this. Here
Yeah.
comes Big Nick up to the plate. Like, like where did that go?
I don't know, but it's still
So
there.
now we've got the I'm in my sleigh era. That is what 2024 is known for.
This outfit is giving, Taylor vibes. It's just, but they all sound the exact same, and that's what drives me nuts. Birthdays. I do have one. If you don't,
I do too.
You have two, or
No, I
you
have
also?
one. But go ahead.
This one is interesting. This was from Mark. Says, hey, will you please wish my son Danny a happy birthday? Danny's birthday is today, and he's 9. I'm not part of his life right now, and he'll never get to hear this as I'm the only one who listens to your podcast. I wish I could hold him, and I wish I, could be the very best of days right now for him, but I can't, and I pray that he will give his life to Jesus. Thanks, Mark. And like that one is hard, because like you're this dad, and all you want to do is be with your kid. And I don't know any of the circumstances around it, but I appreciate him like putting the birthday request in there aspirationally, because I hope that one day that will be the case, is that he'll be able to put in a birthday request because they've been able to be part of each other's lives in the future. What do you got, Rock?
Well, I got a happy one.
No, that's good. That's good.
Mom, Dad, Will, Avalon, not sure, Kai, and Chazen.
Chasen?
The cool family names.
Yeah, with names like that.
Remember the band Chasen? Do you remember that band?
Oh, that's
Yes.
familiar.
Chasen?
This is Chasyn.
Chasen.
And poor Will. Will just has the normal name, and the others have unique names. And anyways, they're
Way to make Will feel bad in this.
right. They want to wish Madeline with a Y a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Madeline. She's turning 16. She loves reading, musical theater. Don't go to school for that. Writing.
Or if you do, make sure your parents are paying and you don't have to.
She is writing a book. She is hilarious, talented, and just an awesome person.
Nice. Well, happy birthday,
Madeline.
Awesome. Well, man, we appreciate you guys listening to the Aftercast. We do need to cut it today because we have a meeting, and we've gone 30 minutes on this bad boy.
I have more to say.
No, you don't.
So back in
I'm canceling you.
91.
This is giving shut off vibes. So that's what we're going to do for the Aftercast. Thanks for being a potty.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.